It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And coming up, it'll be no holds barred between AFC North rivals. It's the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. Next on Madden Football.
Now from the home of the Dog Pound, EA Sports welcomes you to Huntington Bank Field here in downtown Cleveland, Ohio. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from Cleveland. And it's a pretty good return here, so he'll get this up to the 29. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
First play from scrimmage, Watson going to throw it. Into the hands of Cedric Tillman. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
Well, this defense certainly knows they're going to have their hands full trying to slow down this passing game. Here's an example on the very first play from scrimmage. I think we'll see some different looks, maybe some pressure from different places, but it didn't work there, and it's a quick first down.
Now it's Watson. Open man, that's Tillman. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it second down. So we just called his name on the previous snap, and they go right back to him, Charles, for a second consecutive completion.
Yeah, I think what we're discovering on this drive is that he feels like he has answers no matter what defense you throw up there. He reads it, finds the open spot, and is available for the completion.
And this one is incomplete.
Nice job there forcing that incompletion. This is going to be a fun battle throughout this game, watching him try to take away that area of the field.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. First carry for Nick Chubb. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. And they'll bring Judy in motion right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And that is well read there defensively. He was looking to use his speed to get the edge, but they said no way. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. To throw is Watson. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. So after the conversion on 4th, here's 1st and 10 just outside of the red zone. Now Chubb running right. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Now a 2nd and 6. Here's Watson. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a 1st. No score after 1 on EA Sports. On to the 2nd from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Now Watson. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But, Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, 1st and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. This is Ford, and he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Cedric Tillman, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Browns post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Extra point good by Hopkins, and that makes the score 7-0. So that one a 13-play drive in total, and it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
And his task in this situation is making sure that his team knows that there's a sense of urgency, yet somehow still stays calm. Because your natural impulse, your first possession is not until the 2nd quarter, is you got to attack right away. Throw something big at them right away. Yeah, you got to move the ball, but maybe be a little bit careful in doing so.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And they'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he'll get a couple up to the 29. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Now Jackson. That is caught and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. The linebacker Jordan Hicks flying in there for the sack.
Now how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz. And the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Two minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Aguilar in motion left. Now it's Jackson. He dumps it off for Henry. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's knocked away and incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
I have a few questions about that throw because to me there just wasn't a lot there. I thought he tried to do a little bit too much, almost tried to will a receiver open when there was no chance he was going to be. Nice job by the linebacker being all over that one and knocking it away.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Here's Watson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. This 2nd and 4. Watson. Right back to Njoku. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Here now, 3rd and a yard. Back to throw, Watson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. Fighting through pressure. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports halftime report. We just watched a strong first half from quarterback Deshaun Watson. His touchdown pass is the only score of the game thus far, as his guys hold a 7-0 lead to this point.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Just the one touchdown in that first half. 7-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Throwing is Jackson. That's going deep for Bateman. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Jackson from the shotgun. Buying time to his left. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the 3rd quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it, and that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith as he gets the sack.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. They run with Ford. And he'll manage only a couple here up to the 25. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Watson now to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Ford. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's fourth down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Jackson. That one into the hands of Flowers. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
I tell you what, when you're down on the scoreboard, you've got to look to your stars, and that's what they do here to start the drive. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked his way a few more times in short order. That one, well designed, and it's a quick first down.
Jackson now. A short one there, caught by Likely. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that will bring up second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Running from the gun with Henry. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down. Now it's Jackson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. Before they can snap it, time runs out on this third quarter of play. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the fourth. Here's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. He's got room at the 30, and he's finally down at the 21-yard line. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Jackson.
It sort of looks like they stopped some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. Well, that's complete to the fullback, Ricard. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep, and he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on 3rd down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on 3rd down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't. And
they're going to try the screen. It's complete. And down he goes, but the stiff arm utilized effectively there, and it helps him move the sticks. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
A quick pass out to Aguilar. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a gain of a couple there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Slot man moves right. Jackson will throw again. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. Well, this crowd making it hard to hear. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Jackson to throw. They set up the screen for Henry. And he will not be able to get the first as he can get this only down to the 5. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. This one, an absolute must. It's 4th and 4. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we're going to get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough. We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. 2nd down and 6 now. They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Chubb on the counter.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
Watson now to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up.
What a call there on 3rd down. Took conviction, didn't it? If this is incomplete, the complexion of this game changes dramatically. Instead, not only is this a 1st down, but it's a big play to boot.
The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. Down to a knee goes Watson, and that should just about do it for this ball game. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. For the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
But you know what they say? It's always fun to work on things if it didn't go well in your game with a victory in your pocket, and that's what they've got going forward.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Browns, and they're happy in the dog.